All throughout the Bible, there is this ethno-linguistic thread going through it. And there's this message that is being sent that this is not just about the people we're talking about, but it's about so much more. So you go all the way back to the beginning of the Bible, Genesis chapter 11. You have this very strange story. It's the Tower of Babel. And it's so strange that most people get it very wrong when they read it. It starts like this: "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the sky. Let us make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to be scattered over the face of the whole earth." They're literally saying, we don't want to be scattered. We want to make a name for ourselves. Let's make a really big tower. Okay, skip down a bit. The Lord says, "Come, let us go down there," confuse their language so they will not understand one another's speech. And then he says later, "And from there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth." He does the opposite of what they wanted. Now, people read this story and they get really kind of caught up with one line. It says this: "We have to stop them," from God, "because if they do this, nothing will be impossible for them." It's like this weird sort of verse. When pulled out of context, you're thinking, God's scared the humans will get too powerful. And you have to step back and go, does that really make sense? I mean, is that sound like the God that created the universe and every single one of us and designed each one of us unique? And then he's up there going, oh no, they're building a tower. I don't know what to do. It just doesn't make sense. So you've got to go in deeper and go, what is he saying? So he's specifically talking about the concept we were sent. And if we were sent and they start the conversation with, we need to make sure that we're not being scattered, not being sent, and literally make it all about us, God's going to step in and go, I think you forgot why I made you in the first place. And it's kind of a ridiculous thought when we start to think that the entire world is this tower. Because before this story, they're traveling around seeing other people, there's other nations. After the story, they're traveling around seeing other nations. And yet when we read the story, we go, wow, the whole world in that moment was about to reach Jesus, or actually God in that moment. And you go, wait, no, that wouldn't be the whole world. One tower wouldn't make sense. And our God is always thinking much bigger than one tiny city. He's thinking about the whole world. And so in that moment, what you have is God saying, do you realize I love all my creations? Like whenever we start to think about ourselves, our land, our country, we start to get really self-centered and forget that God actually created all the people. And he probably likes all of them and wants all of them to be in his kingdom with them. So he's always thinking about all the people. Now, in this story, he's probably also thinking about hundreds of years of people. So he's thinking, you're in this moment, and it's all about you. I'm thinking about 10 years from now and those people, and 100 years from now and those people, and 1,000 years from now and those people. And I love them too. So you need to understand that you're on mission, and I have scattered you across the world to share the message of who I am. We cannot make the same mistake. He's going all through the Bible. A lot of people think that really mission started in Matthew 28 with the Great Commission. It's not true. Every story has these little subtle hints that he's also talking to other nations at the same time. He's also trying to reach other nations. Just one, I've used it before, is the Egyptians when they were leaving and the 10 plagues. Those 10 plagues are not for the Israelites. The Israelites aren't really even in the story. They're kind of a sideline to the story. We come back to them after they cross the sea and all that happens. The 10 plagues, he could have jumped to the end when you know the story, and just got them out. But instead, he goes one by one and attacks the gods of Egypt so that the Egyptians would discover who God is. I would love to read that book. We don't have that one. But the book that says how the Egyptians were absolutely just dumbfounded about how amazing God is, and then they discovered him, and I don't know how that book goes because I don't have it. But That's going on all the time. The Jonah story. It's completely about someone else. It's just, there's so much more happening, and it's mission, mission, mission. Sent ones, knowing why they're there, scattered across the world to share the message of Christ. And so are we.